How's everyone doing today? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Big shout out to the 10 people watching. Again, it was like unscheduled live stream. I just decided to turn on the camera and come and hang out with y'all for a little bit. Just come and chill. Just take a look at what's going on in true crime. As you can see, this is like the latest. This is the latest. I guess from what's going on in true crime right now, as far as the Idaho full Bryan Kohberger case. Kohberger team fight the cameras. And ain't crazy how the state prosecution and defense together fighting for cameras of the courtroom. Ain't that crazy? It's a breaking news. Kaylee Goncalves, victim tried to escape killer Bryan Kohberger, but was strapped by friend's body. Do you know it's a gag order, right? Can we all agree that it's a gag order? So if it's a gag order, how can any of this information seems available? Can we start like making sense of what people is putting out there just for 24 minutes, no views? And I'm not gonna be your first view. In 24 minutes, nah. Another one, 2 hours. Sharing Bansfield. Like Bansfield knows anything about what's going on. It's being aired for 2 hours, no views at all. No views. So can we just tell, like, look at same content creator, 3 hours, no views. Who is this? Wandering Mama. I mean, I encourage people to become content creators and try to get their money right. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I don't care if you have 2 subscribers. Like, you should still get views somehow. So obviously, you're not doing something right. Like, you either not tagging your videos properly, or something you're not doing right, because you're not getting no views on your shit. And it's an Idaho 4 case, which is pretty spicy right now. It's a pretty solid case to talk about right now. And I mean, can we tell that everything this person is putting out is nothing but news headliners and shit? Okay, 6 2 1. Amazon, we're Amazon wish list. Good luck with that, buddy. I mean, again, I encourage content creators to put their content out and, you know, get their career going and stuff like that. But you know, it's like going to the news stations and talking about what the news stations are talking about is not cutting it at all. It's just not cutting it. Like you just first and foremost, we cannot trust news media outlets as we speak. We cannot trust none of them. And I think we could all agree with that. Like if we sit here to make content just out of what the news stations are talking about, we are doomed. Could that just mean that no one is doing homework? No one is actually studying the case. They're just waiting for whatever the news stations put out. And you're just gonna put whatever narrative the news station put out there. Like who you try to please. You try to be on the news stations, good graces and shit to see if you get a little slot like for 30 seconds. Come on, man. Bryan Kohberger, quote cameras, ladders, reflections, shout outs. Big shout out to Evil Exists. Big shout out to Evil Exists. They has a lot of subscribers though. They have a lot of subscribers. Sometimes I look at their content and stuff, but I'm not subscribed. Like they have 48,000 subscribers. The family hasn't visited Bryan Kohberger. That's what they say. Again, like who's their sources? How do we know that what they saying is just 100% accurate? Like, do they have the visit records from Layton County? Did they request like a public request for the visits for Bryan Kohberger? Like, I don't think they will give that information out. It's a gag order that has to do with everything that it has to do with this case, everything that it has to do with Bryan Kohberger and evidence. Everything it will be denied. So how can we know that the Bryan Kohberger's family has not visited him? Just because whatever someone says? Come on, man. Let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? And then trapped by Maddie's body. From where these people get this shit? It's like it takes one person to say something and everyone is just gonna roll with it. Like y'all forgetting the basics of this case. Like y'all forgetting that it's a gag order. It's a non-disclosure order from the court that none of these type of details, no one will get to share this shit. Because again, if they get to find the leaks and who's the leaker and stuff like that, it's not just gonna hinder the case, but people will get in trouble. So how can we see, hear, and believe anything that it comes from any content creator? Like, how can we sit here and say that, yeah, Kaylee was trapped by Maddie's body? Like, how can we just sit here and say that? When, if anything, that'll be part of the evidence and stuff like that. Part of the whole forensic spectrum of the whole investigation. Which again is sealed by non-dissemination order. Like, do content creators don't sit there and think, like, before they share whatever they think is utilizable? Like, do they just don't sit there and be like, well, if I share this, like, what's the purpose for me sharing this? Like, to get few views and shit like that, you know, talk about something that you don't even know if that's real, just because someone said it. Big shout out to Evil Exists. I just can sit here and validate Bryan Kohberger, I am blank, 7 hours ago, 28 views. Who's this? They live right now. Yeah. I call channels like that, like troll channels. They just reposting like news, live streams and shit like that. Like, Bryan Kohberger hearing updates. Father of Idaho murder victim said she was strapped. News Nation, you know, of course, Bryan Kohberger family hasn't visited him in jail. Source. All right, who's your source? Who's your source? Who's your source for you to know that? Come on, News Nation. You has to be better than that, though. You have to. The source says. Source said. Source said. Banfield. Bryan Kohberger back in court as just hears arguments about cameras during trial. More news outlet content. I mean, I guess whatever you need to do, like to start your channel, I guess. I cannot. Oh, look at who we got here. Michelle Lee with her Bubbly Waters channel. Kaylee Goncalves, Steve Goncalves talks about Kaylee and how she was trapped. Come on, man. You gonna believe anything Steve Goncalves said? Are you serious? Listen, man, I cannot trust no one that he has not been investigating this case. I don't care if the same family members. I cannot sit here and give no one in a circle. I cannot give no one the benefit of the doubt when no one has been investigated. They don't want, and they can and they don't want to tell you how they got to Kohberger. You need to show proof that you investigated this case to the T, starting from the inner circle. Y'all know who's the inner circle: family members, friends, enemies, sex partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever the fuck they had. It's a full opening the books on everyone close to the victims. It's mandatory to open the books on everyone in the inner circle. If you don't do that, how can you tell us today that Kohberger is the guy when you didn't even investigate the inner circle? Just make that make sense. You just make that make sense. Make that make sense just for a quick second. And J for Justice, judge denies media request for cameras in next hearing from Bryan Kohberger. But haven't the judge take a decision on this? This is what I'm saying. Like, J for Justice talk about like the judge already decided to not have cameras. And if I'm not mistaken, that has not been ruled yet. So how can Jay say the judge already ruled on that? Like, I know the judge wasn't very pleasant about, the media lawyer even being there talking to him. I know that it wasn't really nothing that they wanted to hear about. New York Post: University of Idaho victims tried to escape quadruple murder but was trapped by best friend's body.
The kit.
He was there to kill.
He came in with the kit.
He was there to kill.
He came in with the kit. I believe he had a kill kit.
And you believe that everything right down to the implement of destruction, this large marine knife, that was all planned.
All planned.
It was inhumane.
They haven't even proof. They haven't even concrete proof that a K-bar was used for this murder scene. The forensic cannot tell you yet 100% a K-bar. The K-bar, a K-bar that belongs to this knife sheath. Forensic cannot accurately tell no one that a K-bar, that indeed a K-bar was used for the commission of this crime. So how can we have a sheath any good? Let's not just let's put to the side the genealogy shit. Let's just put to the side the genealogy shit. Just the matter of a fact, the forensic cannot pinpoint accurately tell everyone around the world that those wounds, those slashes, those tears, almost limbs gone, detached from a body. Forensic, the coroner cannot tell you 100 to the 100% that a K-bar was utilized for the commission of this crime. Just that by itself. Again, forget the genealogy shit. Let's talk about if it was a K-bar. The only way to know that a K-bar was utilized in a commission of this crime is through forensic work. We don't have an accurate time of death separately for each victims. We do not have a time of death. Nor how they die. They say by stab wounds. Death by stabbing. Do that makes any sense? Just with the little bit that we have heard about this case, you're gonna tell me that it makes sense to you, death by stabbing, when it was registered that it was some punctures, that it was this long. Puncture this long. A K-bar is this little. A K-bar is this little. The puncture wounds was way bigger, almost by an inch. So how can they talk whatever they talk about? He has a killing kit. How can you even speak on this when none of this shit is nowhere to be found? If you ask me, these people are hiding something. I cannot give no benefit of the doubt to no family that it was not investigated. No friend that was not investigated. No ex-boyfriend that he was investigated. No one was investigated. So how can we just sit here and give benefit of the doubt just because they family members? So I just sit here and act like they don't look suspicious just to satisfy you? Who the fuck you think I am?
He was there to kill.
He came in with a kit. I believe he had a kill kit.
And you believe that everything right down to the implement of destruction, this large marine knife, that was all planned?
All planned.
It was inhumane. You wouldn't do these type of things to any living creature, let alone an innocent human being.
Well, something that we do know, the bodies were done dirty. The bodies were done dirty. And what I mean dirty, they really abuse. They really abuse the victims, their body. You know, they say it was 8 hours between the killing and the report of it. What you think it could have happened to those 8 hours? Let's say if it was 9 hours. Let's say it was 10 hours. What do you think? What do you think was happening through that time? I just wonder. Give me a second, please. Hey, stop. Shut off the TV, baby. Yeah. Shut off the TV. Judge bank camera, 0 fucks given. Shit crazy though. Mr. Tyler Feller. Steve Goncalves speak out in Bryan Kohberger camera debate. Mr. Tyler Feller, huh? Well, you see, they only talking about Kohberger not wanting the cameras in the courtroom, like using that against the guy. But they don't mention the prosecution almost also want cameras out the courtroom. But they make an emphasis on the defense wanting the cameras up out of the courtroom, like the prosecution don't want the cameras out. What you mean? This is how news stations, like, they literally try to force the narrative of, like, oh, Bryan Kohberger all suspicious, and Bryan Kohberger don't want this, he don't want that. Like, man, it's crazy though. Steve Goncalves' message: truth and transparency in Bryan case. Well, if y'all really wanted truth and transparency on this case, y'all should investigate this. Y'all should investigate this case like y'all was supposed to investigate this case, not just start throwing spaghetti to the wall to see what's gonna stick to the guy, and then run a campaign of slander against the guy just so the public have a certain way to think about the guy. You know what I mean? It's like y'all don't give him the benefit of the doubt for shit. Like, we got the guy, this is the guy, that's the bottom line. It don't matter if the reality tells you that they don't have not even a connection with the victims. How in the heck you could put any type of circumstantial evidence against him when there's no connection? There's no circumstantial evidence will stick without a connection. And then Steve Goncalves comes out of nowhere like a superhero. He's like, oh, I found a connection between Kohberger and my daughter. Fuck out of here, bro. If it was any type of connection between them, the prosecution would have it already. They would have presented. They would present that already, just to make sure the public know that it's a slam dunk. Don't you think that you, as a prosecutor, if you have a slam dunk of a case, don't you think you will brag about it? Don't you think you will put some of that nail in the coffin information out just to make sure that people understand that we got the right guy and we doing a 100 to a 100 investigation about this, and everything tell us that Bryan Kohberger is the guy and this is why? Prosecution has not done that. So how you expect me to believe that they have the right guy when they have shown nothing? It will lean to that it will make us even think that prosecution had this almost wrapped up. None of this shit. Okay, JLR. Jonathan Lee Riches investigates nothing. Well, at least he traveled around United States with the subscribers money and the membership money. At least he get to travel around United States of America acting like he's investigating something. Because that's exactly what he's doing. He just making you believe shit. I could do that too. Sit down, read court documents, give you my own interpretation, leaning towards the narrative that I want to push, and then just with your money, I just go and drive around United States because you putting gas in my tank through donations and through YouTube and shit. You putting money in my pockets for me to keep making you believe. That's what JLR does. Keep making you believe. Well, as long as I make you believe that I'm doing something, you see, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm searching for a fugitive, you know, we're searching for missing people and shit, but I'm just making you believe that I'm doing those things through the camera. While I'm just laughing at Jack because I'm just having a tour through United States, making people believe that I'm doing something. Anybody could do that. Listen, wait until my cat chat to start pumping money, like for real, and just to laugh of JLR, I would do the same thing. I just get on the car, just drive around, go to Walmart, pull the camera. Hey, it's Jrod Investigates. I'm over here holding a sledgehammer because this could be the murder weapon. Come on, man. Just keep up doing what you're doing, buddy. You know, you got your whole formula already. You got your formula of content. You have a way to play people out. Obviously, you're doing something right. You're playing people the right way because subscriptions are going up. You're getting your money. I think it's like the fucking perfect way to scam people, just making them believe that I'm doing some work that I'm not doing. Hold a camera for like 10, 11 hours showing you nothing but a motherfucking empty street with cop cars parked and everybody salivating and just looking at the camera zombified, can't fucking change the channel and try to find something else to look at because you just zombified looking at an empty street with cop cars parked there, and you sending donations, you sending. This JLR has the perfect formula of scam. Perfect formula of scam. As long as he keep making you believe that he's doing work, you will keep doing what you're doing. Easy money. It's easy money. Who's this? MBN.
Played a PC that was submitted to the court, and the judge did find probable cause for an arrest of Richard.
3,000 subs. Kohberger's defense say no to courtroom cameras, but why you see go back again? Why you don't say that it's prosecution that don't want cameras in the courtroom? Why y'all don't say that? But y'all good to say, oh, defense don't want no cameras because Kohberger is guilty. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Man, this shit crazy. This shit crazy. All right. Let's take a look at that real quick. I'm gonna put some music real quick and I'll be right back.
Con un lápiz en la mano, uno por uno tiene que girar. Si la música termina y el lápiz contigo está, tendrás que pasar al centro para ponerte a bailar.
Yeah. AD. Let's get it in. Let's go. Yo, it's the AYD with 2 E's at the end. Flip trees to get cheese, broccoli, what I'm in. I don't brag on what I have, but my swag is a 10. Compared to me, you were asking, you can ask for your friends. Got cash that I pack, have it stashed in the den. Get mad, I let it blast and leave your ass on the fence, cause I'm ballin', baby. Ain't you seeing the stats? Getting cheese off the screen, that's the reason I'm fat. And my money long, nigga, ain't you seeing the stacks? I'm everywhere. Stevie Wonder can see where I'm at, believe that I'm back. New chance to live in flames. Even God to come tell you that this nigga's a sin. Puerto Rican by blood, but a nigga by skin. So you could just imagine all the shit this nigga is in. So I'm the wrong one to come after, cause if you niggas strong, I grab the pump like a nigga got after.
Cógelo con calma, aguanta la palma. Si tu carga la larga, valga quien te salva. Cuando yo te explote la calva, tú eres un rapero de falda. Te tarda, te falta para crecer una barba. Vela tu espalda, porque aunque venga con tu guardaespaldas, después que yo te tire 1, 2 y 3, vas a correr una yarda. Life's a bitch como calma, esto suena como alarma. Lo que va a pasar te va a matar, son mejor que no salga. Lirical, soy un enfermo, escupo fuego en el invierno. Soy demonio sin los cuernos, fequeros no quieren vernos. Providencia, quien lo quiere, soy como los de Chabele. Tú eres más común que los que tienen apellido Pérez. Ven aquí, ven acá, no vengas con racata. Como dice Santi, tu estilo es guacala. Quítate la máscara, que yo vengo fuerte. Black boy, yo hip hop, te deseo mucha suerte.
Hay guerra y estos son de rebuleo, de los más maromeros en el pistoleo y con un highlight del cheo. ¿Lo viste bien? Con un highlight del cheo. Hay guerra y estos son de rebuleo, de los más maromeros en el pistoleo y con un highlight del cheo. ¿Lo viste bien? Se van todos. Ahora es que me toca a mí bailar con el lápiz. Lo voy a partir por medio y lo voy a sacudir. Te tuviste que reguindar de Julio Voltaire para poder cantar, salir y representar. Pero tú eres un mierda de verdad. Te estoy improvisando y esto es de verdad. Te voy a dar un zigzag, ya te lo prometí en la primera parte. Ahora vas a ver que te voy a dar con el cable. Somos como el cable, intocable, no hay quien hable. Te voy a sacudir, mi nombre es Don Darí y ni te conozco, pero te voy a dar y te voy a bajar el moco.
Yo soy el Monty y a este flow le meto duro, cayendo fanaticadas, mami, como los menudos. Le meto duro casi siempre cuando fumo, cuando veo a los dos caras, ahí es que yo me atribulo. Reparto leña y en esto yo soy un loco, repartiendo un rumazo como lo reparte Coto. Tengo más títulos, como un tiburón, tengo yo mi cinturón, aunque no soy luchador. Pocos son los que saben mi vida, inspirándome la mata después de un tequila. La bebida, mi mejor amiga, y mi compañera es la que siempre brilla. Con la que yo cuento, con la de metal. Si tienes miedo, quítate que esto es mental. Peleo el puño lindo y bello con quien quiera. Hay que aceptar que en la calle ya nadie pelea.
Hey yo, I'm strapped for the mouths and I clap for the style. Keep stacking bricks and you can get clapped for your pal. Gas match with my smile, got cats acting wild. You wanna beef? I smoke you like a black and mild. My style is putting gas in your mouth. Don't need legs, it's about, it's all you, what the running's about. Any block out there, I'm thugging it out. And if the hammers don't work, then the bullets getting shoved in your mouth. You know me, body stiff with a guilt face. Speakers in the truck, make the interior move like a milkshake. Bragging about how you built weight, go I press you. Have my mans leave you laying next to my clip's face. You're gonna get laid, your body language ain't crucial. Ride over you niggas, leave your body on neutral. fuck what your crew do. The hammers you bursting, gorilla bullshit. Cover you bitch niggas with curtains.
Yeah, voy a hacer una tragedia, a la mala o la buena. A todo el mundo le llega su novelera. Un gran masacre con esta obra de arte. Para que alejarte de mi carácter. Vete pa'l carajo y no regreses otra vez en la vida. Que no vale un francés, capiche. Sayonara, malaca, hasta la vista. Soy un terrorista, pregúntale a mi madre Luisa. Disfruta tus últimos minutos en este mundo. Viste de luto que por ahí viene el cubo. Equipado, armado con su desesperado. Siempre rapeando, cantando tanto que me espanto. Formo un escándalo rápido, huye, agárrenlo. Tírale balas a la martillo y mátenlo, 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 mátenlo.
Yeah, put rock. My rhymes about to grind, so lazy niggas is blind to my lines. I'm outside with the 9, cause lately a lot of bullets been flying. Next time we ain't running and ducking, we fucking firing. The judge say he didn't want her, but he did. My girl never came back and left me again. I know I ain't looking at fly women this big. No head, handle your biz and take care of your kids. My incarceration got blood relations. I'm the fucking president of this thuggish nation. How many times will I rise above the rest of them? 1,000 in line just to try and mental wrestle them. But I'm Vince McMahon, I paid to make the belt. I was on TV, won't believe the way them haters felt. I rep my city, my barrio, yo lado no muevo. Yo mando los perros, mama huevo, tú estás en el cielo.
Pinches pesados, ya cumpliendo balas. Voy a dejar la cuenta clara. Lo que se tire lo recogen con pala. Mazo en la guerra, yo ando con mi perra. Por si se mete alguno, lo mío lo entierra. Saqué en bereta, fui suelto, me he mandado como un gallo de sierra. Vengo azotando duro, vengo partiendo, ven, va, va, va. Y con la bragueta inquieta pa' que se meta. Llenarle plomo la cabeza, siente la presión potente del demente. No sea tan bruto, se puede perder los dientes. Constantemente me paseo por su frente. Y si se mueve, le sacudirán mi fuerte.
Se tiran, todos se mueren, saca el peine la 9. Roleándote estos nenes, me paseo en el BM. Ninguno me detiene y eso es lo que les duele. Que le meto más cabrón y ustedes no pueden. 4 años y todos estos puercos no aparecen. ¿Qué les pasa? Serán que andan con perse. Deja que yo los pille y confiesen que le voy a dar 1 a 1 lo que se merece. Y si un puerco se crece, que el laca lo enderece. Si me cucan se muere, con los epites no pueden. Guerra no le conviene, vamos calle si te quieren. Y lo voy a estar esperando al primero que se puele.
Rápidamente que tengo la mente que para cantarle a toda mi gente. Que todos aquellos que quieren tirarme, que rápidamente que pasen adelante, que pasen al frente, que pasen en medio. Que como siempre que yo los pateo. Mira si los pateo cuando les cambio el flow. Yo soy el John Daddy y me llaman el mejor. Me gusta el aquí, me gusta poder fumar. Me gusta que las mujeres se pongan a bailar. Ahora voy a pichar, te dejo de tirar. Yo agarro a la guerra y me pongo a bailar. El escuadrón está espoteado, esperando que te ponga bien zafado para dejarte a ti pegado. Hay guerra y estos son de rebuleo, de los más malos, pero en el pistoleo y con un jalarte el teo. ¿Me oíste bien? Con un jalarte el teo. Hay guerra y estos son de rebuleo, de los más malos, pero en el pistoleo y con un jalarte el teo. ¿Me oíste bien? ¡Se van todos!
Yeah. Wrong. I made this beat, nigga. En español. Yo hice la pista, mamá huevo. Lápiz. Si tú no puedes con nosotros, únate. Mamao. ¿Oíste? ¿Oíste? Oye. Oye. Está bien. Te suena ridículo. Look, si tú necesitas un coro, una pista, una lírica, llámame.
All right, as you could tell, we got someone that don't need no introduction. He's one of the best true crime content creators. My brother from another mother, Harsh Reality. Thank you for everything that you do for us, and it's very appreciated your support, brother. Keep doing the great work as always, and we support you to the 100% here in Jrod on Point. We very much appreciate everything you do for us. So I just want to play for y'all today's daily dose, Friday's daily dose. I haven't watched the second video, so we're gonna watch it together. But as we could all know, it's gonna be a great video. So without further ado, let's listen to Harsh Reality.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this fabulous Friday. That's it, baby. It's Friday. And do you know what else is fabulous today? You. That's it. You. You're looking fabulous. And we are getting straight into the meat and potatoes today for two reasons. It's Friday, and I want to crack on and get you guys off so you can go and do something more interesting. And B, because I have a feeling that dog is not going to give me much time before it starts kicking off. She's quite the little bugger. Anyway, so what we're talking about? We're talking about, briefly, to wrap this week up, because there's been a few things happening. We are still waiting for the outcome of the court hearing to do with the cameras, to find out what the conclusion of all that was. At the time of recording this video, there has been nothing concluded, nothing said. We still don't really know what's going to happen with that. I kind of expect there not to be cameras in there. I genuinely do, but we shall wait and see. But this is about you. That's it, you. And what I'm talking to and who I'm addressing, or what I'm talking about and who I'm addressing mostly, is the people who are firmly in the Bryan Kohberger did this crime, and the rest is history. And I did a video very similar the other day that just tackled, you know, the fact that we have people who are just unwilling to accept that there is an alternative. But look, with the recent statements made by Steve Goncalves, and for those of you who have seen that, and if you didn't, go watch my video yesterday, it talks about it a bit more in depth. But it does raise some huge questions. It raises some questions about how someone so close to this, as close as you can get, literally a parent of one of the victims, talking about this crime and talking about the way in which it's being handled. And it's now, I think, we come to a point where there's content creators who will not seem to accept or even want to go anywhere near the fact that Bryan Kohberger could indeed be innocent in all this, or there just could be a bigger picture, and perhaps Bryan Kohberger is just part of a problem, part of a bigger situation that happened at 1122 King Road. Or indeed, just the investigation itself has been tainted by the fact that there are other things going on in the background that have took priority and made it be investigated and handled in a manner with which it wouldn't have been had the circumstances been different. And what do I mean by that? There is a lot of things going around Moscow, Idaho. And one of the biggest things that I know other people have touched on, we haven't spoken about it before because I just want to look into the background of it and see where this was going to go, looking at the financials of it. And this is to do with the acquisition of Phoenix University. And this is the University of Idaho, looking to acquire this university that has quite the checkered past. And you know, they basically want to turn this university into basically a money generator for Moscow, Idaho. That's the whole point of it all, you know, Idaho. And they're looking between now and 2030 to, they believe that this deal could generate another 150 to 180 million pounds or $1 million, a year in revenue. And that's a lot of money. And you have to kind of consider what a business such as the University of Moscow, what they would be willing to do or overlook or have their hand in to make sure this went forward. And the thing is with this, it's all about timing, because this has literally just been given the green light. If I go onto here, let's just pull this over. So this is literally the University of Idaho's acquisition of University of Phoenix a good idea. And it says the University of Idaho got the green light from the State's Board of Education Thursday to pursue a $550 million, that's $500 million, for the University of Phoenix, for a non-profit whose enrollment has been plunged amid chronic allegations of illegal recruitment and marketing practices. This university has got problems of its own. And ultimately, there's a lot of people who do not believe that this is ever going to work because it is what it is. And even though this deal might make people forget about the issues at Phoenix, ultimately Phoenix University is Phoenix University, and it will eat itself once again.
I really do appreciate Harsh Reality and what he brings to the table. I really do appreciate. Because again, here, once again, we've been talking about this since the very beginning of this case. And I do appreciate Harsh Reality talking about this, because this is a reality that we all facing. Is a bigger power, which is the private corporation, that it has full control of this locality that is called Moscow, Idaho. The University of Idaho has absolute control of all decisioning around the locality of Moscow, Idaho. I've been telling ya that if y'all want to know who's king, is the University of Idaho. Who's queen? The administration of the city, town of Moscow, Idaho. That's the queen. Moscow, Idaho is the queen. The University of Idaho is king in Moscow, Idaho. As we all know, Moscow PD has multi-million-dollar contracts with the University of Idaho. The victims in this case are students for the University of Idaho. The killers of these victims are students from the University of Idaho. So you're going to tell me the University of Idaho is not going to do everything on their power, especially having a weak government administration influenced by money being God. In God we trust, right? So you trust in that dollar bill in your pocket. So you're going to tell me that Moscow, Idaho, knowing that they could lose millions and millions, let's say billions of dollars in the long run, if they lose the University of Idaho and its entities, you're going to tell me the administration is not going to bend their arm and comply with whatever the University of Idaho is advising? If you don't think that that's possible, you should check the reality that you're living in. Where it's confirmed that the government of the United States of America is corrupt as we speak today. I'm not saying that all these investigations in the Senate about the FBI, the Department of Justice, vote fraud, collusions, come on, it's all there. Like it's all there. Like we know for a fact. We can't even allege. We know for a fact that the administrations in small towns like this one, Moscow, Idaho, depend on a big corporation to survive. They will comply with everything and anything Kane, in this case the University of Idaho, propose or advise to the administration of the town, especially on a Department of Justice side of things, especially on state prosecutions, having the right people in the courthouse, having the right people within the police, having the right people within federal resources around the area, like the FBI. As long as you have the right locals on the FBI, as long as you have the right locals on the PD, as long as you have the right locals within the courthouse and the Department of Justice and in politics, it's undeniable that in this case, King, being the University of Idaho, could do whatever the fuck they want. We are umbrella in Moscow, Idaho. Again, I want to remind you, Layton County is the only Democrat county in the whole Idaho. Idaho is Republican. The whole state of Idaho is Republican. So don't you think that the whole state of Idaho is not taking a peek within a deep detail of what this one Democrat county is doing? Don't you think that the possibilities don't you think the possibilities of outside forces within the state, don't you think it will get to the point that they will go in and investigate what this one county is doing, especially with this one major case that it catch worldwide attention? I appreciate Harsh Reality making sure that we all fully aware that it's a private corporation in Moscow, Idaho that is running shit, and is the University of Idaho. They are an educational department. How in the heck they could affect the outcomes of an investigation? How can the PD allow even the intervention anyway, anyhow? How come the Moscow PD had the balls to take over this case, knowing there is a major conflict of interest? Why they didn't give this case to the sheriff? Why they didn't give this case to the state troopers? Why they could have just give this case to the FBI as soon as Kohberger crossed the state lines that he had to get picked up in Pennsylvania. They could have given it to the FBI and let the FBI handle that shit. But you know that the FBI didn't want this case? Wonder why? If you ask me, the FBI, as soon as Kohberger crossed the state lines, they could have easily intervened and take over this case. Because anything that crossed state lines, and this case, this local case, crossed the state lines of United States of America, automatically the FBI has jurisdiction. Because this one crime investigation has already crossed state lines to get to another state. Automatically, that becomes FBI jurisdiction. I wonder how much people know about law and crime works in the United States. But again, I appreciate Harsh Reality mentioning this, because in reality, the University of Idaho is king. And they are the puppet master. Thank you, Harsh, for letting us have that coming from you, which is big platform, big content creator in true crime, Harsh Reality. We appreciate what you're doing for us.
But where is it? If we scan through here, it talks about here that Idaho's Board of Education approved the University of Idaho's plans to create a non-profit corporation called New U to acquire the University of Phoenix. The University of Idaho, which enrolled around 11,000 students in fall 2021, plans to finance the deal by selling $685 million worth of bonds, meaning funding won't come from the institution's budget. If we scan through here a little bit more, so yeah, look, is it a guaranteed moneymaker? Between now and fiscal 2030, University of Idaho expects to receive between $150 million and $170 million through the deal. It's a lot of money. That is a hell of a lot of money. And what I guess I'm saying is, if you are firmly in the camp of Bryan Kohberger did it, and you're unwilling to accept that there could be an alternative, then I think you're turning your back and ignoring many, many things about this case that perhaps I wonder whether you would had it have been your own family. Steve Goncalves himself talks about business. He talks about the fact that he won't let, and I'm paraphrasing, he won't let the money situation and the business deals affect the ability for his daughter and the other victims to obtain the justice with which they are due. And what you have to appreciate, and I think here, is Bryan Kohberger is currently in incarceration. He's been held pending trial. Now, if this is just a done deal, then should people like Steve Goncalves still be concerned? Steve Goncalves cannot seem to give a straight answer as to whether he feels that Bryan Kohberger is the person who did it or not. Maybe he thinks that there's a potential that he could do it. Perhaps he feels there's a potential he didn't. Perhaps he feels there's a potential there's more to it. There's more to the story. But for those victims to obtain true justice, everybody involved in this situation needs to be brought to justice, not just one element of it, one part of it, or indeed Bryan Kohberger, the patsy, just taking the rap just to satisfy everyone's needs for somebody to pay the price, but not necessarily the person who needs to pay the price. And I don't know whether this is what happens. People get on so much of a witch hunt. They don't really care about who gets sold down the river for it, as long as people see someone get sold down the river for it. But you are ignoring many, many things. You're ignoring the fact that right up until Bryan Kohberger's arrest, like literally right up until Bryan Kohberger's arrest, the Moscow PD claimed that they didn't have a suspect. They were looking for a car that didn't match that of what turned out to be their primary suspect, and that was changed. James Fry had through his public appearances had said that the surviving roommates were not witnesses. And then, lo and behold, one of them then turns into a star witness. Basically, the only person who can formulate a scenario that would give us a time frame for the crime, which just then so happens to tie in, we're led to believe, with Bryan Kohberger's car. But that's the only link to it. That's the only thing that gives you that time frame. That timestamp is the eyewitness that seemingly didn't exist earlier on. So what is it? And that time doesn't even match what the coroner released, Kathy Mabbott, because she gave a time that was at least an hour earlier, albeit it was an approximation. But the approximation, if we want to go down the route of that, it actually started at between 2 and 3. Then it's slowly gone forward and forward and forward until gone 4 o'clock. Point being, even though these can be explained, they haven't been explained. When you put them all together, they don't make sense. They don't make sense. We don't know if that's Bryan Kohberger's car. We've been told it is, and we've seen images ourselves that may or may not be the ones that they have in court. We've heard about phone pings, but we've also heard via the court documentation that the finality of those phone records has not come through. They've not been received by the FBI. We've got an issue with the DNA, where we're told that DNA was on a knife sheath that was found at the scene of the crime. But we've also heard in the background that there was 3 unidentified male samples as well. And we know that touch DNA or trace DNA, transfer DNA, the type of DNA that was on this sheath, it would have had to have been on that sheath before it entered into that property. It was transferred to it. It doesn't place Bryan Kohberger at 1122 King Road on this night. It just answers a question that could he potentially have touched this knife sheath at some time, or could his DNA have been transferred to this knife at some time? The answer to that is yeah, it could have been, but it could have been done in a nefarious manner. And it does happen. And why does it happen? Well, when you see things like this happen, when people lose their life, or when people are framed, if you like, for want of a better word, it's done most likely for money, power, gain. And what do we have around this entire crime? We have people who are seemingly walking free, and then we're having big drug busts happening. We also have a crime where seemingly in 1 minute we've got nothing and no one and no witnesses, no nothing, and they're looking for cars that don't match and all this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden we're banged and it's all done, sailed down a river. We then hear about exculpatory evidence, but we can't get to hear the exculpatory evidence because the preliminary hearing is sideswiped off the table and turned into a grand jury to rush it all along. From then on, it's all about gag orders to hide everything. And all while there's a $500 million deal in the background. Now, I set a poll yesterday with respect of the University of Idaho and whether you felt the University of Idaho were getting too involved in something that could potentially impact the acquisition of justice in the Idaho 4 case. The University of Idaho has no place in this. They are an educational facility. That's all they are. They are not a law facility. They're not someone who should be involved in this. There's nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with them whatsoever. The acquisition of justice in this Idaho 4 case is nothing to do with this entity. And the vast majority of you did feel that the University of Idaho were getting too involved. And they're getting too involved because there's money. And I have a feeling, the more I look into this and the more I hear and the more that people like Steve himself comes forward and says what he said, I just wonder what this place were willing to do for the acquisition of money. Let me know down below. How do you feel? And what are you truly willing to ignore? It's not about 8-hour time delays, even though we can pick through them and we can pick it apart. This is all about a story that all of a sudden came closing down on someone. And when you look at how that happened, there is still a big question mark. We don't know. We don't know when they first found him. We don't know anything. All we know is 1 minute they didn't have someone, and the next minute they've got the guy. And not only that, but on a silver platter, they've got his DNA at the scene. But they're unwilling to show the workings of that. Let me know down below. Have a fantastic, fantastic weekend. I may see you, I may not, but I do hope you have an amazing weekend. Thank you for sticking around this week, and I shall catch you all in the next one.
今個中秋，重新感受團圓嘅味道。雙黃晶瑩，蓮蓉細滑，滿載傳統滋味。從心從身，快樂團圓。美心雙黃白蓮蓉月餅，全新貓山黃榴蓮軟心月餅，軟滑榴蓮，淡淡留香。
Hi, I'm Kevin Roach. I'm a professor here at CSC. I am going to be guiding you along a journey of getting your hands on plants. Do you want to know everything there is about biology, extractions? Do you want to see the interior of the laboratory? It has words I can't say in it, but we're growing a lot of it. So, come on down to CSC.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this beautiful, beautiful Friday. And if you haven't heard me say it already today, you're looking beautiful too. This is, in fact, video 2 of 2. So if you didn't manage to catch the first one, you know the drill. Go find it. Not now, after this one. Steve Goncalves, he has yet again been sticking to his word. He's been speaking out. He has been talking. And this time he is talking specifically about what happened at the house that fateful night, 1122 King Road, when his daughter and 3 others would lose their lives. Now, what he is saying specifically, I believe, and this is my opinion, and my opinion has no standing in law and anything. It's just my opinion. And nobody has done anything wrong in any way, shape, or form until proven otherwise in a court of law. But I can have an opinion. We are all entitled to our opinions. And I just wish and hope that one day everybody can have their opinions together, whether they be differing. Look, just because you have a different opinion than me, it doesn't make us enemies. It doesn't make you my opposition. I'm not your opposition. I just have.
I totally 100% agree with Harsh Reality on this. Just because we have a different opinion don't mean that we have to be enemies and shit like that. Like, don't make no sense. Big shout out to Harsh Reality. Big shout outs to you, brother.
Have a difference of opinion than your own. But what am I getting at? Spit it out. Spit it out. I hear you cry. And what I'm saying is this. What Steve Goncalves is saying, and look, I'll bring it up on screen so you can see it too. Some of you have already seen this. So, University of Idaho murder victim tried escaping suspected killer Bryan Kohberger, but was trapped by friend's body. Family. And what it says is the heartbroken... Whoa, what am I doing? What am I doing? Right, let's go over here. The heartbroken parents of one of the University of Idaho students killed in the quadruple stabbings of an off-campus house last fall claim their daughter tried to escape the attacker but was trapped by the suspect and the layout of the bedroom where she died. There's evidence to show that she awakened and tried to get out of that situation, but she was assaulted and stabbed. Steve Goncalves told CBS News Peter Van Sant of his daughter, Kaylee Goncalves. Kaylee, 21, was killed alongside her best friend, Madison Maddie Mogan, 21, housemates Anna Knodel, 20, and Knodel's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, 20, in the early hours of November 13, 2022. Kaylee and Maddie, who had known each other since childhood, were found deceased beside one another in the latter's bed. Kaylee's mother, Christy Goncalves, said in a preview of the upcoming 48-hour special, The Night of the Idaho The night of the Idaho murder. Here we go. Maddie was killed, likely the killer's first victim, Steve explained, citing the coroner's report. When the assailant turned on Kaylee, she was stuck between the body of a friend and the wall. The bed was up against the wall, the headboard was touching the wall, and the left side of the bed was touching the wall. And he believed that Maddie was on the outside and Kaylee was on the inside, the grieving mother explained. The way the bed was set up, Kaylee was trapped. The killer may have been surprised to find the two in the same bed, Christie speculated. I do think that his plan went awry. I do think that, he intended to kill one and killed four, she said. So what does this all mean? What does this all mean? This further, in my opinion, and my opinion only, is that this further raises some questions regarding the witness statement. Now, look, I wouldn't have had a problem if right at the beginning it was stated that one of the surviving roommates saw everything. They saw what happened and they were scared out of their minds. And that is why nothing happened. But that is not what we was told. We was told by James Fry, yes, you, James Fry, that the surviving roommates were not witnesses. In press conferences, you even, when that was questioned, you specifically raised the point that they were not, and you had not said that they were witnesses. But later, it all transpired that more and more stuff was heard. Now, Dylan Mortensen had said that she had not only heard things, the numerous multiple things that you all know what she said. You all know. I don't need to go over it again and make this video longer. You know what she said. She said it and she saw something. We hear now Steve Goncalves is saying that Kaylee was trapped and likely fought to escape but couldn't. Fought and escaped, or fought to try to escape and couldn't. That leads to an altercation. That leads to noise. That leads to noise that I believe, and this is only my opinion, that is what roused Ethan and Xana. Now, I believe whoever did this crime was talking to Ethan or Xana when the words "I'm here to help you" were spoken. And I believe that is because Ethan and Xana, or Ethan, one of them, both of them, whatever, came out to hear because they heard what was going on upstairs.
Boom. Big shout out to Harsh Reality. Great job. Great job.
They heard it. Make no bones about it. That's my opinion. I believe that's what happened. And then when they come out, they're in a panic because of what they heard, which led that other person, the person who was downstairs and shouldn't have been in that house, to say, "Don't worry, I am here to help you." And then another further altercation. Now, my question yet again, and continues to be, what was Dylan Mortensen doing at this time? When, by her own admission and the details contained within the PCA, she had come out of the room multiple times, and she even heard the person say, "I'm here to help you." She'd heard whimpering. She heard sounds that she believed and put it down to them playing with the dog. I don't believe that for 1 second. But again, that's just my opinion. And she's come out of her door, not once, not twice, I believe 3 times in total. And one of those was at a point when the person was walking towards her, would walk past and out through the sliding doors. That's the story that we've been given. But what is important about the time with which she came out to look, and it would just happen to be when that person is walking off? Why wasn't it when the initial sounds were happening and she saw them coming down the stairs? Why did it happen to be after all was said and done, everything was over, and she just happened to catch the aftermath and catch him walking past and walking out the sliding doors? I believe, and again, this is just my opinion, that Dylan heard everything. I don't even see how it's possible that she didn't. Maybe she heard everything, she was damn scared, and she got into a position where she'd left it so long, she then didn't know what to do, and panicked and called friends and got other people over because she didn't know how to deal with it. She thought, how do I now call 911 to get help, to assist this situation? How do I do that? And this is where this all comes from. But Moscow PD have a question that's going to be put to them, and this is obviously going to be put in the courtroom, and that is why the delay, and what are you going to do about the delay? Because regardless of anything, the fact that Ethan Chapin, apparently, if you believe the things that have been said regarding Hunter coming over, and Hunter being the one that found Ethan and Xana in the positions that they are in and had to force open the door. Again, you have to. There's one or two things that happen here, and I touched on it yesterday, and that is that Ethan was either still alive when the killer left that property, and he made his way to the door to try and get out and succumb to his injuries in that doorway, or the killer didn't go out through that door and went out through the window. I'm not saying he went in through the window or anything like that. I'm just saying he could have got out through the window and didn't have to go back through the house. And why do I think that? I just think because I can't work out how the door would have been jammed shut if Ethan was deceased before the killer left the room. Makes no sense. If Ethan genuinely was trapping the door shut. Doesn't make sense. And again, you have to consider the noise. They're on the same floor as Dylan Mortensen. Explain that to me. That's all I'm asking. This ain't about trolling someone. This is just asking for answers. I can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around how someone could in one breath be frozen in shock phase and all that fucking bollocks but yet give an account of what she heard, what she saw, witness statement, and 1 second the police are saying she's not a witness, then all of a sudden she is a witness, and I've touched on this multiple times, but it frustrates the hell out of me. Because I consider the fact that were any of these people able to be saved? Was any single one of these victims able to be saved, and was timing of the essence? And does that even excuse the situation that was such a delay? But with what Steve Goncalves is saying, and he had also said this earlier, that there was one hell of a fight. And being trapped in these altercations, to me, reeks of noise, reeks of things being heard, sounds being heard. And more happened in that house, and more people are keeping themselves quiet. And I wonder whether that was this delay, whether this entire situation placed Dylan Mortensen in a position where she could be leveraged upon and coerced by law enforcement. Tell me I'm wrong. Please, please, please tell me I'm wrong. But if you're going to tell me I'm wrong, back it up. Back it up and tell me how this makes sense. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
I gotta say, thank you, Harsh Reality, for everything that you do for the true crime community. Thank you so much, and I really mean that out of the bottom of my heart. Due to a lot of things that are being said out there. Like I said, a lot of things that are being said out there don't make no sense. I'm very happy that after so many months and so many live streams, me talking about the same things that the Harsh Reality is sharing with y'all. I feel in a certain way validated. And again, thanks Harsh Reality for everything he does for the true crime community. Thank you so much. I feel in a certain way validated because we have spoke about this for so long. And meanwhile, we're being on this island by ourselves. Little by little, things been coming full circle. Little by little, we need to get to the Ethan and Xana at the Grubhub truck. Content creators to start talking about this. they should start talking about the reality of Ethan and Santa being at the food truck and they being hidden on plain sight. That's the biggest secret of this Idaho 4 investigation. It's an Apple Pay transaction that will define what we've been talking about Ethan and Santa being at the food truck. We've been talking about this for the longest. For the longest, we've been talking about Ethan and Santa being at the Grubhub truck, hitting on plain sight. Moscow PD knowing about this. But of course, due to the gag order, they can talk nothing about it. So even though if they know, they don't have to talk about it. And just keep the reality of Ethan and Santa being on plain sight. And as long as Moscow PD don't say, oh yeah, that's them, by the way. No one, not one content creator would dare to say, even if they seen them, even if they seen like, damn, that's Ethan and that's Santa. What the fuck? I know a lot of content creators won't even dare to probably even go there just because they don't want to put their true crime career on predicament. And they don't want to take that risk. Big shout out, buenos días, feliz viernes. Buenos días, Amy Conway. Big shout outs to you. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. I know this live stream, it was not planned. I don't know. I just felt like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn the camera on and let's just have a conversation. Let's just have a conversation about the latest in this case. So you see, you know what's crazy? They keep using the defense not wanting cameras on the courtroom as bad as like they utilize Kohberger defense don't want cameras in the courtroom. Like Kohberger and the defense has something to hide. Can y'all see? But they don't mention prosecution. Not wanting cameras in the courtroom neither. It's been a malicious covering, like in a way the news stations been covering this case is being in a very, very, very malicious way. In a way the prosecution is being handling this case in court, it's obvious that it's being malicious. It's obvious that what it makes sense. It's obvious that what it makes sense to some people. Like what it makes sense to some people is not making sense for others. How can we say at this day today that this case is being handled improper? We cannot say that at all. This case has not been investigated accordingly. The coroner didn't do their job at all. Like what they did, they bag him and tag him. Because it seems that's all what the coroner did. Just bag him and tag him. Send him to the fridge. No toxicology, no time of death for each individual disease. No mortum mortem. No mortum mortem. Not within detail the reasons why the victims died. You just simplify it and you put all 4 died cause stab wounds. Excuse me? Stab wounds is when you stab and you get poked. You get poked, stab. It means when you get poked and you get stabbed, right? These victims got stabbed, slashed, shredded, mangled, abused. And you're gonna tell me a K-bar knife did it? Where in the forensic report says that 100 to the 100 because all the testings that we have put in place on the bodies, 100 to the 100 confirmed that it was a K-bar utilized in the commission of this crime. And there was one person, one person only that did this. One person. Just make that make sense. I just wish someone could make that make sense. How can everyone could talk about, oh, Kohberger is on camera footage, oh, Kohberger is on stills pictures, his car is on, it was spotted here, and there, and yada 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 yada. But can one person tell me how he got inside of that house? How can one person can tell me how he got out, how he got in and how he got out? Is people talking about basements? Is people talking about basements? Is people talking about the house having a basement, tunnels? Can we debunk that real quick right now while we're here? Amy, would you like me to debunk the tunnel theory and the basement theory? Do you want me to debunk that shit real quick? And it's easy. Like, it's easy. This is easy shit. It does not take a 5th grader to break this shit down. It do not take a 5th grader to break this shit down. First and foremost, is not confirmed by no one. Even in the house schematics, the engineering of the house and the schematics on the planning of this house, nowhere there mentions a fucking basement. Nowhere on the planning of this house, nowhere on the plannings of this house mentioned that it was a basement in this house. Nowhere. So now just tell me how y'all come up with these tonal theories and shit we a cuckoo person came with. Just explain that shit to me. How can y'all even come with a tonal theory when y'all can't even confirm if this house has a basement or not? On the planning of the house, it nowhere it says that it has a basement. I go farther into that. I go way farther into that. Let's say this house indeed has a basement. Where you think that door of that basement is at? Where you think the door of that basement is located at? Again, if this house has a basement, right? Now tell me where is the point of access to that basement? Where is located the door that it goes into the basement? Can any one of the 13 people here elaborate if indeed this house has a basement, which is nowhere to be seen on the schematics of this house? If this house has a basement, can y'all tell me 100% accurately where is the door of that basement located at? Give me 1 second, guys. Big shout out to Mama Bear. All right, so let's get back to the conversation. Let's get back to the conversation. We was talking about we was talking about the if it was a basement at this location and where the door of this basement could be located at. Here's a that has baffled me in that there is anything smoke stacked on the roof, full blown blowing steam. Why would that be on when nobody inside, security outside? What the fuck is that? Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. But let's be clear. Let's be clear, okay? Let's be clear. If this house, which again, the schematics that I've seen, the maps that I've seen of this house, nowhere there tells me that it has a basement. But if indeed this house has a basement, okay, where you think that basement door is located at due to the schematics and the maps of that house. Can anyone elaborate? We got 14 people in the building. We got Amy Conway running the chat room. Big shout out to everyone watching on the background. It's a lot of people with a lot of curiosity. It's a lot of people with a lot of curiosity, and they're not wrong with having that curiosity about this case. They're not wrong about that, because it's a lot of things that don't make sense about this case. It's a lot of things that don't make no sense in this case at all whatsoever. Do y'all know if the theory of the tunnels was correct? If the theory of the tunnels were correct and it was a tunnel that links the basement of this house towards the network of tunnels, underground tunnels underneath the University of Idaho, you know that if it was any basement in this house and the killer or killers utilize the basement tunnel to get out, do y'all know that that door is at Bethany's room? So you're going to tell me the killer went inside of Bethany's room to get to the basement and to get out in the tunnels? Make that make sense. Just make that make sense. Make that make sense, and please elaborate on this fuckery. Is nowhere on the schematics of this house mention a basement. The only point of access, if this house had a basement, the only point of access is on Bethany's room, which is that little door that y'all see under the stairs. Do you know that little small door that she has on her room that is right underneath the stairs? That'll be the only entrance to the basement if this house had a basement, because it's nowhere around that house that it has no type of access to the bottom floor, to a bottom basement. Is nowhere on the schematics of this house, the maps of the building of this house, that it shows no kind of entry door torch, no basement. The only thing that he has is like a closet made underneath of the stairs that is right at Bethany's room. If no, is no other point of access to no bottom basement floor from that house. So how come the people even will think about tunnels being connected to a basement that it doesn't fucking exist? And if it's a basement, the only door to that basement is on Bethany's room. So now you're gonna tell me for y'all to think that the killer used the basement tunnel to get out of there. So now you're telling me that they went inside of Bethany's room, didn't kill her, and they get out of that. So now you're telling me that Bethany has something to do with it. Oh my God. This is how far the content creation and YouTube true crime it gets to. This is how crazy y'all sound. Oh, we found out it's tunnels underneath of the college. What about if they utilize the tunnels underneath of the college to get to to get out the house or to get in the house without being noticed and shit? Get the fuck out of here. Are you fucking serious? Where you went to two true crime classes? How in the heck you learn how to commentate or analyze true crime? Oh yeah, I just found because I can't make no sense of this shit. Oh, let me just, I know it's tunnels underneath. Big shout out to Joel Raymond. I just found out that it's tunnels underneath of the University of Idaho. Let me just say for the fuck of it. They probably utilized the tunnels from underneath the University of Idaho to get inside of the house and get out. When the fucking entry, if it was any, is at Bethany's room. Just make that make sense for a second. Every time y'all mention the tunnels, just think about that for a second. Big shout out to UL's Raymond. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Just make that make sense for just for a second. Like every time, the closet door in her room, that would be the only point of entry to a basement. Because it's nowhere else in that house. That it shows any type of entry to no basement. The schematics of the building of that house and the way they built it do not show no basement. So from where the fuck people is gonna get that is basements and is linked to a tunnel and yada yada yada? Because again, y'all can't make no sense of what happened in this crime scene. Joels, so happy I caught up you live. Thank you for the shout out, home. Keep doing amazing work. Thank you. No, I appreciate you though. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you for the support. Thank you so much. Very appreciate it. So we see here and have all these conversations of like tunnels and the possibilities. Okay, so but when you think about shit like that, please make it make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about tunnels. I'm gonna talk about basement. Let me just make sure that this house has a basement. Let me make sure that somehow I find the this basement is connected to a tunnel. Let me make sure that I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, do the house has any door that will take me to a basement? Way before I talk about the house, well, the house definitely gotta have a basement. Oh, if it's tunnels in underneath of the University of Idaho, it's definitely a tunnel linked to that house. Come on, man. It's a gag order put in place. It's a non-disclosure court order about this case. They already certified the Goncalves family. They're already being certified, the Goncalves family, as future witnesses. That's why they advise the Goncalves family to avoid making any statements in the public eye, which is recorded and on the books of records forever, and it could be used against you in a court of law. And they're just gonna sit there and act like it's all gravy. They literally just gonna sit there and act like it's all gravy. We could talk. We have a lawyer. We lawyer up. We could talk. No, you cannot talk because you're a future witness of this case. You're already being told to, because y'all got yourself involved in the investigation of this case since day one. You squeeze yourself into the investigation somehow and for some reason. Because you can't tell me just because, rest in peace, Kaylee was your daughter, that don't give you no badge of like, you know what the fuck you're talking about. Or that don't give you no badge and no certificate that they honor you as an investigator for anything that it comes out of whatever you gather being taken up on consideration for anything in this case. If it doesn't come out of police work, it should not be utilized in an investigation of any case. When Moscow PD allowed Dylan Mortensen to change her narrative, they broke the law. Because if you give me already word that you was in the first floor, you didn't hear, you didn't see nothing, you telling me that you was in Bethany's room. So now Bethany has to be your alibi, because the other room across the hall from Bethany was not livable. The bed was not made. The bed was against the wall. It looked at more as a warehouse unit, like a garage, like, you know, just to storage shit. That's where Ethan's golf clubs were located at, in the room across the hall from Bethany, that it was actually supposed to be Dylan Mortensen's original room, but she went to the second floor. So as soon as Moscow PD allowed Dylan Mortensen to change the narrative, they broke the law. Because she not just waited 8 to 9 hours to call, to have a call for an unconscious roommate. You're not going to tell me you didn't see the blood dripping down the second floor room. You're not gonna tell me you didn't see the blood dripping down the ceiling on top of your room, Dylan. Who the fuck you talking to? If it was blood pouring out the walls from the second floor to the first floor, now you tell me when the third floor victims were done worse. You cannot tell me, Dylan Mortensen, that you didn't have a puddle of blood right above you. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that it was no blood pouring down your wall. You cannot tell me that, Dylan Mortensen. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me you didn't hear nothing. Because if the cameras outside heard the commotion, just imagine how loud that shit was inside the house. Who the fuck you talking to? Moscow PD knowing that Dylan Mortensen waited this long because by Greek life law, when something like this happened, it's mandatory that way before you call authorities, you must call the sorority or the fraternity first. This is facts. This is not allegations. This is matter of a fact that all sorority members, all fraternity members must call the sorority and the fraternity if something like this happened, way before you even call parents, way before you even call authorities, way before you call anyone and everyone. You must call the sorority and the fraternity. This is why the sorority girls and the fraternity boys knew about what was going on, because the killers are frat boys and the helpers are the sorority girls. This is why fraternities and sororities and their members knew about what the fuck was going on way before Moscow PD did. I bet you probably Moscow PD knew right away too. Because if the fraternities and the sororities knew right away, the president of the University of Idaho knew right away what was going on, and he called Chief Fry to try to figure this shit out. They took 8 hours to plan the preliminaries of what the narrative is going to be. It took them 8 hours to then act like, oh, well, you're going to make this call. You're going to make this call. This is what you're going to say. You're going to stick to the plan. Because we have multi-million dollars to lose if this shit comes out that it was one of our students or multiple of our students involved, not just in the killing, but in the covering of this case, including staff from the University of Idaho, including staff from Moscow PD. That is people being hindering in making this case what it is today. This is the people hindering this investigation because they have something to hide. They have multi-million dollars and billions of dollars on the long run to lose if the community and the world find out that the killers were students from the University of Idaho. That the girls that helped to commit this crime was sorority girls that live in that apartment, or at least one of the sorority girls who live in at that house, at least one cooperated with the killers for the commission of this crime, and also collaborated with the University of Idaho to conceal this crime, and Moscow PD in conjunction, because it's a lot of money to lose. It's a lot of money that it could go down the drain if anyone, and it's confirmed that after the killing, where's the phone records? Why y'all don't want to investigate Dylan Morganson? Why? Because her phone would tell you that the first people that she called was the sorority. Instead of her calling authorities, the first people that she called was the sorority. And that's why it took so long to make the phone call to authorities. But that was a make-believe. Because if everything went down like we say, the president of the University of Idaho knew right away. Chief Fry knew right away what the fuck happened and who did it and everything. Because the only way that you could cover something is knowing the truth. Because if you don't know the truth of what happened, you could make a mistake on the narrative. You could make a mistake on the make-believe investigation. And the only way that this case is where it's at this day today is because the University of Idaho and Moscow PD knew exactly who did it, how they did it, when it happened, how it happened, and how long it took to the whole process of it. Is the only way that they could actually play around with the investigation to make it fit to what they want to. Because if they do that, not knowing the truth, they could make a mistake within their narrative that it could expose this case sooner than later. We need to pay attention to the small details. Moscow, Idaho has mad money to lose if the University of Idaho gets strike and banned out of the city for misbehavior on this case. Again, right now they're risking it all to try to save it all. Right now, the University of Idaho is risking losing everything. They have all the chips in one number. They have all the chips in one number. They risking everything they got. They willing to lose it and risk it all, as long as they conceal and cover this crime to not affect the money right now at the moment. Because as long as they keep lingering this, the only thing they doing is try to make the University of Idaho look good enough so whenever the truth come out, they already have built a narrative and a make believe for them to not look that bad. Because they're waiting for people to forget. Forget what? Ain't no one forgetting not a fucking thing. Because anyone that is being invested in this case at this day today, we know all details. We know all details. So it don't matter if it's like 2 to 3 years, we still gonna be telling you here in YouTube what the fuck we know. And it's nothing nice for the University of Idaho. I told Moscow PD my last conversation, one of my latest conversations with them. I told them, you know I know, right? You know I know that the University of Idaho don't want no blood on their hands. Do you know that, right? I told this to the Moscow PD. They did not know what the fuck reply back. Because when I said that, they all enter in some kind of shock that I said that on the phone. And I told them, I just hope that you know that I know that the University of Idaho and the administration of the city will do anything on their power to conceal any wrongdoing from their studentship, staff, and anyone related to fraternities and sororities that are linked and connected to the University of Idaho. They only protecting the bag. They don't care about the victims. They don't care about the families of the victims. They muscling, I believe, one, if not two, of the family members of these victims to comply to their narrative. I believe there is 1 to 2 families. I believe, due to the information that we have gathered, there is 1 to 2 families that are complying with the University of Idaho and their narrative. Is 1 or 2. Solid 1, possible 2. Victims' family members, primary victims' family members, moms and dads involved on a hush-hush. One of the families had 2 students still at the University of Idaho. What about if they offer them free scholarship? Hey, we pay you way through college for free. Is just do what you do. As long as you want to stay in college, we'll pay for that. We throw you a little bit money on the side. We make sure that the financials and you at your home are well taken care of on a hush-hush. You know, through donations, through the, you know, how can I say it, the GoFundMe and shit like that. Of course, the university some way, somehow could have their own private people and send money here and there. Boom, 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 to keep them all in the hush-hush. As long as it's money coming from the University of Idaho, I strongly believe that is family members from these victims complying with the will of the University of Idaho to protect the bag. It's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched these days. How many dads and moms are killing their kids or something happened to their kids and they don't give a fuck as long as they have a GoFundMe? It wouldn't be the first, it wouldn't be the last that a family lose a loved one, and as long as they got a fat GoFundMe, they literally don't care about the loss of that loved one. Literally, they don't care. As long as it's money there, they do not care who just died. And this is reality. This is reality that we all need to face. We all need to face that reality because it's wrong, especially on content creation in true crime, that we will sit here and comply with narrative, that we're just gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell you exactly what other people is telling you. Hell the fuck no. I have information that they don't have. I have studied this case in the ways that they don't have. I dare to say what I know because I have studied this case. I cannot sit here. Listen, dude, I cannot sit here and tell you about something that I don't know. I don't have that time. And the only way to fight for victims is being fearless. Because as soon as you fear for what you're going to say or how people is going to take that on YouTube, what your viewership is going to think about what you say, fuck that shit. I don't want no one to be here that don't understand what I'm talking about. I want subscribers and viewers that actually could understand what I'm talking about. And if they have any doubt or any question on whatever I'm talking about, they know how to communicate and ask for elaboration on that topic. And we are more than happy to let y'all know, and whatever doubts you have, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. But we don't want people here that wants to tell us what to do with our channel. We don't want people here to tell us, oh, you should do this, you should do that. When you motherfucker don't have not one subscriber on your channel, you don't have a fucking picture in your fucking channel. You try to tell people what the fuck to do. Just explain that to me. You don't have no subscribers. You don't have not a picture on your fucking YouTube channel, but you dare to tell a content creator with subscribers, with views, we already a base and fundament in YouTube true crime. You try to tell that person what the fuck to do with their channel when you're not even a content creator yourself. I don't want those people here. You either appreciate what we have to offer or you don't. I don't want nobody in the middle. I don't want no one in the middle. You either with it or you don't. It's that fucking simple. You either understand what we're talking about and the possibilities of what we're talking about, or you just your own person. You believe in what you believe, and I respect that. But leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck out of that. I don't even need you to comment on my shit. I don't even need you to comment on my chat room if you subscribe and you fucking doubt me. If you doubt me, what the fuck you doing here? Don't even entertain yourself with doubts. I couldn't watch a content creator that I doubt. If I'm doubting you, if I was subscribed to you and I doubt you, I'm unsubscribing right away, because it's like, what the fuck I'm doing here? Why am I even subscribed to you? With the shit that you talking about don't make no fucking sense. I'm just gonna stay subscribed to you just to have the chance to talk in the chat whenever you go live. Fuck no. I don't give a fuck about this shit like that. I don't. And if I have anything to say about any content creator, instead of me going to you comment section, I just make a video and let you know. I tag you. I make a video. I tag you so you get the notification and you see it if you want to. But why I'm gonna comment in your comment section and leave a message when I could just come here to my channel, make a video, let you know how I feel about it, and it's content. It's content. Take it how you want to take it, criticism or whatever y'all want to call it, but it's content. Is utilizable. Is more worth it for me to make a video about it than commenting about it in your comment section. For what? Let's see what we got going on in the YouTube streets. Let's see what we got going on the YouTube streets. A quick update. Yeah, it's all content. It's just people waste their time. Like they make paragraph. They make paragraph like this big. Try to let you know how they feel about what you was talking about. First and foremost, I'm not gonna look at that whole fucking Bible that you left me on the comment section. Like if in the first 3 lines you have not gotten your point across, you're wasting your time. 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna read it. 9 times out of 10, it'll get deleted because obviously you butt her. Oh, Mr. Cold Turkey. Mr. Cold Turkey Show. The Cold Turkey Show with Mr. Daniel J. Love you too, sister. Love you too, Cece. Thank you for being here, keeping me company. I appreciate you. But Mr. Daniel J coming through with the Cold Turkey Show. He said Steve Goncalves revealed new information in interview. What new information? Just because Steve Goncalves is talking about it, you consider that new information. So now you tell me that information is relevant to this case, right? So if this information is relevant to the case, don't you think the prosecution will have it, and don't you think it will be gag order? Do you know that it don't matter if the families could talk about the case? Let's say that was the case. If that was the case, right, the families are allowed to speak on the case. Don't you think that they are forced by the gag order that even though if you know any details about this investigation due to the gag order, you are as family not allowed to speak on it because now you're speaking on the details of a case that is gag order? Please make that make sense. Please just make that make sense before y'all make titles, before y'all try to spread false information and shit like that. Just make that make sense. Just because Steve Goncalves is Kaylee's dad, that don't mean that he's allowed to say not a fucking thing about this case. Because he's not allowed to say not a fucking. If the prosecution have it with them on the pool of evidence, Steve Goncalves by law cannot speak on no details that it has to do with this case. Can anyone make that make sense? But here you go. The Cold Turkey has a title saying that Steve Goncalves revealed new information in interview on the Bryan Kohberger case. What new information? What new information? Because again, if the prosecution have this information and it gets shared to the public, they hindering the case. Make that make sense. Come on, man. Like are we serious? Like is it only kids and children watching true crime? If that's what we have in here, grown adults that think like children. because this is all I could see from content creators like the Cold Turkey Show. This is what I see from content creators like the Cold Turkey Show. They have what? They have 39, almost 40,000 subscriptions. And at this day to day, about anything they have spoke on the Bryan Kohberger case, they don't make no fucking sense. At this day today, they still have not gotten to the proper way to think about this case, because they still trying to formulate a narrative within the news media outlets that Bryan Kohberger is guilty. They haven't even they haven't met into a middle ground of unbiasedness that we could tell that they talking unbiased. Everything they say is biased. Everything they say. He's a moron. That Daniel, he's so desperate, or BK to be the guy that he grabbed the straws. Yeah. Daniel moron. Yeah, he. Listen, man, like we could still see what people do for clout. What people do. It's like whatever is the popular narrative, they literally will go against common sense just to troll people. Because this is what I believe they doing. They trolling people. Like, even though in the back of their head, they are like, you know what? This case looking bad right now. Even though this case could be looking bad as fuck right now for the prosecution, they still believe, oh, the prosecution is looking good. The prosecution is looking healthy. How the fuck prosecution is going to look healthy when they fought? They fought against the state to stay within the speedy trial limits. They fought against the state that they could have utilized on their benefit and still stay within the speedy trial limits. They fought against a state that they could utilize to get them to gather themselves together and be ready for the speedy trial. But due to they don't have nothing against Kohberger, nothing, they keep postponing now the shit. After you said that you was ready, you lie in court. The prosecution lie in court saying they were ready to go. We fighting against this state because we ready to go now. But then as soon as Bryan Kohberger give up his rights of speedy trial, now you're going to fall back and be like, oh yeah, we wasn't ready the whole time. That's lying. That's lying in court. And I don't know how people can see that. Prosecution be lying the whole time in court. When the prosecution said, we believe that the witness Garcia wanted to retract her statements, you needed to go through court to do that. You needed to go through court to do that. Because you send the FBI to a witness home to intimidate her, to make her fear for her life, for her well-being, for her future. Because you did not utilize the systems put in place in court to take care of that matter accordingly. You play like a gangster. You play like the mob. Oh, we heard this. We're going to send the dogs at you. Oh, we heard this. We're going to send the dogs at you. We're going to break all protocols to send the dogs at you. Make you fear for your life. Make you feel afraid for your own future. Make you feel afraid of your future as working with the state. Because remember, Garcia is a state witness testifying for the defense. Garcia been working with the prosecution to lock people up. And he's the same witness that he works for the state, that he's working for the defense. Just think about that for a second. Soon as Thompson told the court, told the judge on record, which is in the transcript that we heard, that Garcia wanted to retract her statement, Thompson needed to bring the proof. You could not just say it and go by face value. You needed to bring the proof of this is why I sent the FBI to her home after her testimony. This is the proof, Judge, that she wanted it to retract her statement. This is the proof. You needed to show the court the proof to sustain your allegations. That was your first mistake, Thompson. You lied in court, and you know it. You needed to bring to court because you knew this was about to happen. You shouldn't know that this was about to happen. And knowing that this was about to happen, you needed to have concrete proof. That as soon as you see yourself like, oh shit, now the court knows what I did. Well, Judge, this is the reason why I sent the FBI to her home. And it don't matter what you could present to court, it will still not allowing you to send the FBI to her home because it's protocols and it's systems put in place to take care of this matter accordingly. But prosecution went the mob way. Oh, I have the power to intimidate. So I'm a lie to court and say that I heard that she wanted to retract. I'm going to create this false narrative in the same way they've been creating all these false narratives since day one. Due to that, I've been creating false narrative from the very beginning. Guess what? I'm a lie to court and say that I heard that Garcia wanted to redact her statement of the case. And due to that, I sent the FBI to investigate that. When the FBI don't have no reason to be at her house because the FBI is not the investigative body of this crime. Just in the same way they're using Stephen Goncalves, the same way they're using Stephen Goncalves for their fuckery. And I'm glad that Amy could see that. In the same way they're using Stephen Goncalves for their own narrative and their own shit. And as long as they're using a family member of the victims, they have credibility with the community because the community automatically feels sorry for a victim's family. It don't matter if the victim's family has something to do with their death or the covering of her death. We don't know that. They never got investigated. Olivia Goncalves, Steve Goncalves, mama, the mother, the sisters, no one from that family line, bloodline, no one got investigated. Jack Ducoeur never got investigated. As far as we know, the DNA found in the crime scene, one of those male DNAs has to be Jack Ducoeur. And that's the same reason why Kaylee's family is the frontliner, because the University of Idaho and Moscow PD already know who's the killer. They knew the victim, the main target was Kaylee. They knew that shit since day one. That's why they call it passionate crime, a one timer. And the only way you could speak like that is when you already know who the fuck did it and why they did it. It's the only way that you're able to talk like that. Because you already know what the fuck happened. You already know who the fuck did it. It's the only way that you will be able to speak like that and make sense. Because you already know who the fuck did it. But then you're asking the community for help. Oh, you don't have no suspect. But how the fuck you not going to have suspect when you did not investigate the inner circle? Of course you're not. Listen, you already know the suspects. You have the suspect right in front of you. You know they did it. You know they're responsible for what happened. You know our students from the University of Idaho, they are frat boys and sorority girls. You already been knowing this shit. But you rather to play this Satan game, this satanic, y'all rather to play this satanic game, because this is all what it is. It's a satanic game of playing with the people's mind, playing with the people's soul, make people believe something that is not truth. Try to force-feed people a narrative that don't make no fucking sense, and you swear to God it makes sense for you and for a whole bunch of people, but don't make no real fucking sense at all. You know what, Amy? Now that you say coffee, let me go and get let me grab me a cup of coffee real quick. Let me leave you with your favorite song real quick while I'll be back. Let me get some coffee real quick.
Come over here and let me know your name, boy. Your sexy smile got me checking for your seal. You caught my eyes and I'm seeing if you're single. Do you wanna get to know me?
Pero tampoco llegamos al piso. Y sin fantasear, vamos a la estratosfera, a lo espacial. Ponte el cinturón pa' que no te vayas a marear, porque este viaje te va a enamorar.
Damn, Papi, nice, been on you all night.
Yo, baby boo, you know that I got you.
You know you are so sexy.
Oh, by the way, what's your number?
508, I'll give it away.
Oh, for sure.
Keep it on the low, alright?
Kiana!
Done daddy. It has me speechless. I can't wait, won't hesitate to sharing your caress. I get the butterflies when you're around me. I'm so curious and wanna take you home with me. So sexy, sexy, sexy.
desaparecer, llegando al mundo de la fantasía para que te des de cuenta que entre tú y yo, mujer, el mundo vamos a recorrer en primera clase para que nuestras pasiones se puedan desenvolver. Y no es nada raro en cómo todo empezó. Tú me gustaste y yo te gusté. Ahora es que es cámara, luces, acción. Y ten cuidado que el volcán está haciendo erupción.
Oh, so sexy.
T-Work.
Big shout out to everyone watching. It's Jrod on Point. Hopefully everyone is having a good day. As always, we're having a great day. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Amy and Son ran the night. Thank you, though. I appreciate Amy. I appreciate that. That's one of our hit songs. That's one of our hit songs. Oh my God, that coffee is so good. Coffee so good. Coffee so good. Coffee so good. Well, for those that are watching, here's the Cash App. If y'all found any value in the information that y'all get out of this channel, please make sure it's not mandatory, but if you feel in your heart of hearts to help a good family, a good content creator, that's the Cash App there. Please make sure to click like, subscribe, and share the content. Make sure you subscribe to Jrod on Point Live. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we still got 88 subscribers. Big shout out to the 88 subscribers we have. Very, 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 very appreciated. You are the best 88 subs in the whole true crime community. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you for being here with us and sharing this time with us. It's very appreciated. Let's see. Amy, we was talking about anything before we went to that little break. Was we talking about anything that we had neglect? I think we was talking about Steve Goncalves, new information. Oh yeah, in the Cold Turkey show. Yeah, that's what we was talking about. They're about to go live around 1:35. I guess they should be going live in a few seconds. The crazy thing that they talk about all that new information like it's anything with value. Like, oh shit, I have this new narrative that I could go with, you know what I'm saying? And I make them believe and da da da. I could only tell what kind of person you are just when you like I could tell who's who, like just with the content they put out. For real, for real. Like I could tell who's who. Yeah, I mean it's not just their titles, sis. It's not just their titles. It's like it's not just the titles. It's like, okay, like I'm gonna say it like this, you could even have a clickbaity title. As long as when we get there, you have substance, you have base, you have fundament, you making sense. You know what I mean? Like if you as a grown adult, you think it's a good idea. Because again, it is one of two things. It is one of two things. You either are that naive, or you either are that naive and that gullible, or you purposely misleading and like misinformation, disinformation all in one, purposely just for you to get a kick out of it. Like even though you know that whatever the fuck you saying don't make no sense, but as long as it makes sense for the idiots that are in your channel, and as long as that stupid shit is getting you paid from people that don't have no fucking idea about what the fuck is going on with this case, because they don't have either the time or the will to actually sit there for hours upon hours and analyze a criminal case, and they just go by whatever the fuck you talking about, and as long as it sounds good for them, oh, they keep feeding you. And you have to stick with that narrative, because as soon as you change that narrative, oh, you're not gonna see the same money, huh? You're not gonna see the same views, huh? And that's all you care about. Well, y'all said it. Y'all not here to resolve this case. Y'all only here to talk about it however the fuck you talk about it, huh? You goofy. And y'all frat boys too. Y'all frat boys too. Stop playing with me. Y'all frat boys. All three fatties on the Cold Turkey show, they're all frat boys. And you know, frat boys, they still together with frat boys. Especially if by any coincidence, the fraternity that you are part of have solid connections. With the fraternities that it could have been involved in the covering of this case. You think we're stupid, bro? It's just because people is scared of talking about this type of shit don't mean that we don't think about it. That don't mean that we don't know about it. Just because it's certain people out there, or let's say some content creators are literally afraid because they don't have nothing to defend themselves. They scary as fuck to saying anything. Oh my God, I say this, they come and knock on my door. What the fuck I'm gonna do? I shoot through the fucking door. That's what the fuck I do. I shoot through the fucking door. If you uninvited and you don't identify yourself, what the fuck you think is gonna happen to you? Stupid. He's content creator, he's scared as fuck. Oh my God, they knock on my door 2 o'clock in the morning. I hope they identify themselves and they tell you. Who is it? Buh, 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 buh. That's all you're gonna hear. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. I will shoot first, ask question later, while I see you jumping in the fucking floor. Yeah, welcome to my casa, bitch. Yeah, motherfucker, better identify yourself soon as like you from far the fuck away in the roadway. Way before you knock on my door, you better make sure that you motherfucker notified me who the fuck you are. You yelling to the fucking emptiness of the night. Hey, it's FBI or is this and that. You better announce yourself. You. Not who is it? That's all you will hear. What you want me to do? Sit here and play with you? You fucking serious? Listen, I have kids to protect. I have a wife to protect. I have myself that I love myself very dearly to protect. Do you think I will play games with you? That's why I don't give a fuck about what I said, because what I said is sustainable. I'm not going to sit here and waste your time and waste my time saying what for what. Saying what for what. It's not even like I'm compensated in this channel. It's not like I'm compensated even on the big channel. Yeah, I get cash apps here and there. But that don't mean that I'm getting a shitload of money on my cash app for me to start talking some crazy shit. That's what content creators do. They get a big donation from a party. And you see these motherfuckers talking for a whole week, a whole false narrative from some dumb shit just because they got a big donation from a secret person. Got a big donation. Oh shit, I gotta talk for this whole week. I gotta make sure that I talk that shit so you can make sure keep that cash up coming, huh? If I'm not getting paid for what I say, don't pay me for what you want me to say. And it's that bottom line. If you're not paying me for what I'm saying, don't pay me for what you want me to say. Because it doesn't work like that. It just don't work like that. Like, have you seen anyone like, oh yeah, it doesn't work like that, period. Because whoever does that, if you allow me to say, he's playing with the viewership. He's playing with the subscribers. He's playing with their own credibility. We cannot trust people because they get paid for it. They're just gonna say whatever the fuck they say, even though if it's a lie. We cannot encourage that shit at all. Like if you ask me, we should be encouraging content creators that you see they actually going the extra mile to bring a clear point across with common sense. we should support and encourage those content creators that wants to sit here and tell you exactly how they feel about things and actually make sense and have a connection with common sense. Bryan Kohberger hearing on cameras in the courtroom. That was 42 minutes. I ain't playing that shit. For what? We already know what the fuck's up with that. They did not got nowhere with that hearing. They just sit there, talk, and they didn't got nowhere. So I'm not gonna sit here and entertain y'all with a whole bunch of nothing that it makes no fucking sense. Now you could tell the judge, he's brave enough to have people in check. So I believe the judge is fully aware of the malicious techniques and tactics that the prosecution has implemented in this case since day one. Again, the judge has the transcript. Judge, he has the transcript. So he have seen, read, and heard everything that is being brought to the court from the prosecution side of things. Because again, he could sit there and watch the transcript and see like, okay, this is what the prosecution been doing. This is what the defense been doing. This is what the prosecution has. This is what the defense has. And he could balance it out. See the emotions. You know, he could see what we don't see. You understand me? The judge could see what we can't see. He has to take a deliberation soon. And if you ask me, this case is not gonna go to trial. This is gonna be a full dismissal. And it's gonna be a dismissal that is not gonna come back to Kohberger at all. That's my forecast on this case. And I'ma stick with it. It's not gonna be no trial because he's no merits to go to trial in this case. It's no merits whatsoever. Bryan, big shout out to Dago, my brother from another mother, Dago. Bryan Kohberger hearing New Docs Open Discussion. Great title. Straightforward. Big shout out to Dago. That's my buddy though. I appreciate Dago's time, and I appreciate in the way he has his conversations. Let's see what we got here. That's mine too. September 22, big day. I've been waiting for. Yeah. I know, sis. It's crazy. I mean, remember, right now, Kohberger is at the mercy of the state. The state can only postpone things when it merits for those delays. They can just act like, oh yeah, just postpone it for next week, postpone it for next month, or postpone it for next year. Like, it doesn't work like that. Every time things get postponed, it has to be a merit. It has to be a reason for that. It has to be. Thank you, ULs. Thank you. ULs Raymond, I appreciate. Yeah, Dago and JC are one of my favorites. You know, Harsh Reality, Dago, JC, Southern Logic, even Crime Sleuthing, Jewels of All Trades, you know, Square on Fire, Tarsalaji, Larissa Slaughter. Yeah, remember Michelle Sarton. She's great. She's amazing. Big shout out to Michelle Sarton. I think she changed the handle of her. She has a different name. It's something about tea. It's something about tea. But big shout out to Michelle though. We like her work. We like in the way her conversation. Like Michelle Sun had one of the biggest interview in the whole Kylie Rodni case. And that was the infamous interview with Megan Cole. Oh man, we all have some fun with that interview. And actually, fun is really not the word, but we did break it all down. We broke it all down, and we went through the whole conversation. It was a lot of things that she said that again, if you want to know something about someone, just let them talk. Just let them sit there and talk. You know what I mean? Just let them sit there and talk their ass off. It's the best way that you will get to learn about someone. Just sit there and let them talk. Just sit there and let them talk. They could tell you so much, and they don't even know it. It's something about people. It's something about people, right? I'm gonna put it like this. Let's say, for example, it's some malicious people. It's some malicious, toxic people that they are evil like that, right? And they do know that they have mental problems. Like they know this. They know they have mental problems. And even though they know they have mental problems, they swear to God that they are smarter than all of us. Because they know how to create a bubble of fantasy, of fake reality, and they live by that. They live about this fake reality that they create within themselves. And they literally sit there and believe everything they fucking lie themselves about. And meanwhile, they lying to themselves. They still swear to God that they are playing us out. And they believe that the more that they talk, the more they getting out of the hole. But what they don't know is that the more they talk, they digging themselves deeper in a hole just because they are talking. People like those people make my understanding of certain things way easier because I just got to sit there and let them talk. They tell me everything I need to know. And instead of me telling them shut up, I'm like, keep calm, keep tell me more. Tell me more. What else you have to say? I might sit there and instigate you a little bit to have you talking. You know, some people call that, you know, set people up for failure. Some people call it, and some people say like, well, Jrod, like you are pretty good setting up people for failure. And I'm like, I don't set up no people for failure. They set their own self up for failure. Because if you say I'm setting people up for failure, now you're giving me the mighty power of God, which I don't have that power. I cannot talk you into you putting your foot in your mouth. You do that shit yourself. I cannot influence you for you to say or feel something that you already want to feel that way or want to talk that way. I could sit here and instigate you to keep on talking. You will expose yourself. You will make yourself look bad yourself. That's what happened with Megan Cole. That's what happened with that lady Michelle Lee. They both sit there and look at this shit crazy though. This shit crazy. They both sit there and talk about my family and shit. Are you fucking serious? And they both did the same technique. Oh, he using my family to talk shit about me and da 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 da. No, I don't use no one. Because in the case of Megan Cole, her own kids will lighting her up. Her own kids will telling mama to shut the fuck up. Her own young adults over 18 are telling their grown-ass adult mom, shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All this shit that you created on your head. And you telling people shit that you don't even know. And you probably know a little bit too much, and that's why you can't stay quiet, because you know a little bit too much. And you want to keep looking out there like, oh, you inoffensive, and you don't know, you just know certain details. You don't know at all. What about if I tell you that Megan Cole actually knows at all? Everything that happened that night. And she's like keeping a secret for years and years to come. Oh, he put a video Mother's Day. How low can that be? He put a video Mother's Day saying that this is your mother's gift. Having your own kids lighting you up, making embarrassing you. I didn't have to add nothing to that. I just played the tape. I didn't have to say not a fucking thing. I was just laughing about it. Just laughing about it. Your kids are telling you that you need to shut the fuck up. Oh, he used my kid. That's why I talk up. Man, shut the fuck up. The difference between your grown adult and my kids is that mine are minors. You have grown adult. Grown adult. So I'm not talking about no child. I'm not talking about you minor kids like you do, like Megan Cole did. Oh, how he know that that's his kids? Who the fuck you talking to? And then in the same breath, she's like, "Oh, I'm lying. I'm just pissed off because he talks about me." And like, bitch, so shut the fuck up. If you don't want to be talked about, shut the fuck up. It's that simple. Same thing with Michelle Lee. If you wouldn't fuck with us, we wouldn't fuck with you. We would try to welcome you to the community. You end up biting the hand that feeds you. So yeah, you get fucking played the fuck out, exposing all these other shit, bitch, because you don't fuck with me and you're just gonna stay still there and act like, nah, fuck you. You getting lit the fuck up. Which I ain't done yet. Who the fuck you talking to? He's different. All these troll channels She swear to God that all that shit bothers me. That shit don't bother me. You just promoting myself. Just don't cross the line and the video won't get taken down. Just do not cross the line, because remember, all your accounts are linked to your main account. And if you don't want your Dr. Drifty channel be gone, and if you don't want all your other channels to be gone, you should stop fucking with me with your troll channels, because in case you didn't know, your troll channels are linked to your IP address, you fucking dumb fuck. Idiot. Yeah, that's how I say it. Fucking around, you found out. Cause we don't go out there to fucking disrespecting people. Like I don't go to people's shows to disrespect them. I don't go to people's show to disrespect the host. I don't go there to disrespect the panel. I will debate the panel. I will debate. And again, debate for some people is disrespectful because they feel like, oh, why you doubt my information? Why you doubt my information? Why make you think that I'm here with some false narrative shit? Well, if you can come up with some common sense or from where you even think that, you don't have to show me no receipts. Just make sense of that. I'm not here for you to show me receipts. I don't care. I really don't. Because if you talking to me cannot make it make sense, you already lost your case. I know how to debate without disrespecting people. How many times I had debate in our channel? We pass guests that we feature in the channel. How many debates I have had, and everything is a good debate. It's a good conversation. We exercise debate. No one get their butt hurt. No one gets all pissed off and become enemies and shit. And even though if I don't talk to those back in the day collaborators that I used to talk to, or even though, let's say, if you don't see them no more in my channel, that don't mean that they are my enemies. I just don't talk to them no more. I just can't be around stupid. That's all what it is. I'm allergic to stupid. I could give you only so many chances for you to make sense on your case. I could only give you so many chances for you to come clean and like how many times I told that content creator, how many times I told that content creator, just give me one thing that right now the prosecution has shared that it will slam dunk this case. Give me one thing. They couldn't give me nothing. Oh, the night shift. Well, the night shift is the fuck out the case already. So what else? Oh, the pictures of, okay, so the pictures of video would tell us that that was Kohberger's car and that was Kohberger driving that car, right? Because you better have that. you better have a clear video and a clear picture with a clear license plate, with a clear face, that's Kohberger driving the car, that's Kohberger's car. And then now you have to prove that that car was around 1122 Queens Road. It's not King Road murder scene. The murder scene address is 1122 Queens Road. The driveway is on Queens Road. The driveway is not on Kings Road. The driveway is on Queens Road. So it's 1122 Queens Road. Y'all still have not fixed that in court neither. Which that by itself is a loophole. And in reality, that by itself is a loophole. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Amy. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy how we see like Bill Thompson working the case in the way he's working. Make sure y'all go and see us tonight. This live stream is gonna be tonight. This live stream right here is gonna be on a big channel at 12 a.m. tonight. Yep. We're gonna be talking about the case and all the latest, besides whatever we already spoke today. It's plenty more to talk about. Like it's a lot of details that people right now like can't even comprehend. Like you don't even have to be mighty educated on true crime for you to just pick common sense. You don't have to be a well-trained true crime content creator. And then you explain that to me, how the families want cameras in the courtroom, but the state don't want no cameras in the courtroom. But then people talk about Kohberger don't want cameras in the courtroom to make him look like he has something to hide, when the prosecution also don't want cameras. Why attorneys want cameras of the courtroom. Elizabeth Vargas report. Why does the DEA not want cameras in the Bryan Kohberger murder? You see, this is good right here. And Crime Talk. Let me subscribe to them. Crime Talk. They got 245K subscribers. That's a lot. That's a lot. Good money to make on that though. With those numbers, it's good money to make right there. But the only thing that shocked me with 245K subscribers, he only is making like small channel numbers. You know, like I know channels that they have like way less subscribers than this channel, and they making these numbers. That's weird. But that was a very good title right here. That was a very, very good title from that content creator. Because he's highlighting the DA. Not wanting cameras in the courtroom. I think he's one of the only content creators that actually has spoke about that. And it's crazy, from 48 hours, they only end up like with 30 hours after the completion of whatever they had going on that day. That shit crazy. Oh, this other live stream right here, make sure that y'all go and see next week. It's gonna be the 23rd next week. We'll have a live stream that we're gonna be featuring harsh reality videos within the Idaho 4 case. Big shout out to Harsh Reality, and thank you for allowing me thank you for allowing me for this live stream. Thank you, Harsh. I appreciate you, bro. Harsh gave me full permission to use his content to have a great conversation about the Idaho 4 case. I think that it's gonna be a very, very healthy conversation, because remember, Harsh Reality have one of the best deliveries in true crime, in YouTube true crime. Harsh Reality has one of the best deliveries of information. I could appreciate the tone with the tone that he used to perform his communication with us. Like it's a great conversational skills from Harsh Reality. Make sure that y'all go next week and link up with me on the main channel to have this conversation. This is gonna be a good one. Hopefully, man, crossing fingers. Hopefully we could have Harsh Reality either on the panel or in the chat room. Either or, it'll be an honor and it'll be great. What's going on with Tyler Feller making only 2,000 views? Making 2,000 views in 23 hours? Hold on, Tyler. You have 72,000 subscribers. And in 23 hours, you only have 2,000 views about the latest. Do you know what that means, right? People is catching up to you bullshit. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. People is catching up to you bullshit. You gaslighting the fuck out of this case, and people is catching up to that. They don't even want to watch you shit no more. You have 75,000 subscribers and you only got 2,000 views in 24 hours. I was making those numbers on a big channel with my own live streams, with my own analysis. On that one live stream of Ethan and Sana, the Grubhub truck, we was already in 2.2K, like this. So you having 75,000 subs, Papa, is looking bad for you right now. People's catching up with your shit, and just because you're a pastor, that doesn't give you no pass. It doesn't give you no pass to be how you are and talk the shit that you talk about. Like, doesn't give you no right to that. And you know you being evil. That's the problem. You know you being evil. You know you pressing a false narrative. You know that. That's the worst part of a pastor, than knowing that you talking poop. You still rather to push that poop instead of speak on some truth. Doesn't make no sense. But guys, this is gonna be all for today. I'm gonna save some batteries for tonight. I want to make sure that I go to the big channel and have a conversation with Jrod about Idaho 4 and the latest, so like that we'll be able to reach to more people. Thank you for being here. Very appreciated. I don't know what would I do without Jrod. Thank you for the few that he was here listening to this analysis and this conversation. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're going to take the right decisions in life for you and for others. Always here. Always the host of the most. The team to the tango, the yin to the Django. Jrod on point. Have a good day, guys. I'm going to see you tonight on the big channel. Let's go.